All right, I'm going to start bag C, which is the front end, and that's this guy right here. All right, to start with, we need our steering blocks and our arms. So, got to open up this guy here. And our pivot blocks, which are in here by the looks of it. Right, so this looks like our steering blocks. All right, just going to cut the flashing off again. All right. So according to the directions, the steering blocks point up like this. So this rod goes into the steering block like this, and it just sits right in there. And there's a button screw that goes on the back side of it. And it is 0.1 mil. All right, that's nice and tight. And I'm going to do the same for the next one. All right, now we're going to put our balls in with our spacers. It is a 2 millimeter driver that goes into it. All right, and you got to make sure that we put it on the right side. And it calls for the inner hole. So I'm just doing box stock once again. All right. With the spacer, I have it sitting nice and tight. Not too tight to strip it, but tight enough. There we go. Now we got to take the arms and screw in the adjustment for camber. So we got to break the flashing off, right? I think I'm going to use scissors to cut the flashing off. All right, now I'm just going to take my knife and touch up the flashing. Actually came off pretty good. All right. Now I just got to find the adjustments. It's in one of these bags. Steering balls. Oh, here they are. Another screw bag with the adjustment pieces in there. Gonna dump them into another tray I have here. And here's one adjustment and the second adjustment. All right, there's an orientation to these as well. There's one side's flat and the other side's kind of rounded. I believe the flat side goes towards the pivot ball holder, I don't know, steering, what is it called? Ball end. All right, so there is left hand and right hand threads on there. I'm not sure which way they go. All right, it is left hand thread on the flat side. So I'm gonna hold it with my pliers and rotate it. Doesn't say how much to put it in. I'll have to put it onto the scales. I do want to make sure that it's going in evenly, not crooked. So when I get so far, I'll take my driver and put it through and then spin it. And when it gets really, really tight, that's where I stop, back it off a little bit. Right? Now I'm going to put this into an arm. So I want to take some of that out of there just to put some more space to be more equal on both sides. That's pretty close. All right. You do that to the other side as well. Yeah, this is always the hardest part I find doing the links with cars. Never want to go in straight. I bet you there's a tool that makes this easier. Yeah, I forgot it was left-handed thread. All right, got it pretty far in there. Feeling like it's maxed out. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to back it off a little bit. And put it into the arm. The arm isn't straight either. It has a bit of an angle to it. So we're just starting it off here. Yep, not so easy. All right, looks like I maxed it out there. Now I'm just going to back it off. I'm going to use pliers to hold it. All right, there's the upper arms are made. Now we are going to work on the lower arms. That's these guys right here. And it goes into this part here, which I need my scissors again. Cut the flashing off. I just want to make sure it's nice and smooth again. All right. So the part that we actually need that bolts to the lower arms are these metal pieces here. There's an up and a down to it. So if we take this one, flop this over. So I want this one and this attaches just like this to it. All right, and we're going to use two button head screws. Oh, sorry, not button head. When I look at it, it's countersunk. So two 6 mil countersunk screws that we're going to put into it. And once again, that is 2 mil. So I'll just start it before I get it really tight. And I'll do that to the other arm as well. All right. So the next step is to put the inserts into the corners. And that is this bag right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it has a bit of like a rubber nylon insert with the brass balls. And it says to note orientation. So I'm going to cut this open and spread it out as well. Now I got the whole bag empty there. So just going to put all the brass balls in that area there. You have some washers, two black washers, two red washers, and the nylon inserts. I'm going to cut the flashing off of them too. All right. So with this goes into the piece from bottom up, but we got to make sure that we put our insert, our brass ball into it. All right, so with this, I am going to give this a spray of our lubricant. So I am going to step outside to do this and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. So I sprayed my lubricant on these parts, some Teflon, so they move nice and freely. Now I'm going to insert them into, well, into each other first. According to this, the ridge of the ball goes upwards. And I'm going to grab my pliers to help clip it into place. Just like that, it clips right in. And I'm going to do both sides at the same time. Yeah, they seem to move around freely. So now I get to put these into the arm themselves. All right, now they sit in there nice and tight. And I do that to both sides. All right, you got to make sure that it's sitting flush by the looks of it, and it's not 100% flush. There we go. I felt it move up some more there. I don't think you need a lot of force to put them in. You just got to make sure that they're sitting flush. So now, with that, we have some O-rings that go around to help keep it in place. Once again, I've never built a full scale before or a brand new kit of a touring car or anything like that. I've built older D4s and older Schumacher. All right, this just does not want to sit on there. Right, so maybe I got to stretch it a bit more. Oh, there we go. So I take my small driver, try to stretch it over. You know, I'm just trying to work it all the way around and holding it one spot into place. Well, there we go. Finally got that one in. All right, one down, one to go. So we'll try that again. I'll hold it in one spot and try to work it all the way around. There we go. I think I got that one. All right. Well, this side just seems to be a little bit tighter. I'm moving it around a little bit. All right. Well, I wish it was a little bit more freer than what that is, but should work in, I think. Seems to free it up a little bit now. I'm moving it around. All right. So the next step is to work on the caster blocks, and that's these guys right here with 8 millimeter round. And I believe that's what this is. Just going to double check it. All right. I'm pretty sure that's 8 millimeters. Just making sure that I've got two screws the same length. Yep. And so these we want to go into the middle of it. So this one is sitting here. This part goes to the top, and we want it to be in the middle of both of them. So and that is an M3 as well. All right, so once again, I'm just starting it and then putting it in. I believe the caster for the kit setting is 5 degrees. I believe the shorter part goes towards, did I put it on backwards? Yeah, I put it on backwards. So gotta flip it around. All right, so the arm sits like this, and the shorter block side goes towards back and into the middle. All right. Yep, that looks like it's easy to mess up. All right, once again, just nice and tight. And I'm going to do the same to the other side. Right, on here, we got to put these inserts into these holes as well. Oh, would you look at that? I put it in upside down. Yep, I get to rebuild it again. Right, so that goes there. Try this one more time. Start our screws again. All right, now they're facing the proper way. Elastic's up top. Now we're going to put the inserts in, the red inserts that go into this corner here. And they just clip in by the looks of it. All right, so that step is done. And now we are going to move on to the kingpins. And I am going to polish these. So once again, I'm going to pause the video and polish these off screen. And that's these two shafts right here, just so that they become really smooth. And when I come back, we'll finish on the front end. Thank you. All right, I tried to polish up my kingpins here. They have a bit of a different color to them. I'm going to spray some Teflon onto them. And um, now we're going to continue on by putting the E clips onto them. This is the part where everyone hates E clips. I don't mind them, but still a big pain in the ass. That's how they are built. All right, so we have two little springs here with the E clips hooked onto them. There looks like there's a few extra E clips, which is a good thing. All right, so now I'm just going to start to put it on there. All right, got it kind of started there. I don't know if you can see that, but all right, I'm just going to spin that flip around to make sure it's on. And I'm going to do both sides together. All right, I can hear it clip and it spins really nicely on there, which means it's on there. It's sitting nice and tight. Um, Now we got to put our springs on. All right. There doesn't look like there's any direction to this spring. I don't see any markings on them right now. So now, how do they get in there, eh? Oh, there we go. Fell out. Right on. All right, so I got both the pins setting properly. Now we're going to take our arm. Here's our arm. Our pin goes through it. Now we have two washers that go on there. All right, so we got two washers on that one. Now I'm going to do the same to this side. Put the pin through and two washers. All right. So I'm just going to turn these around to get my orientation. And so now our pivot comes onto here. All right, that's not moving very freely. So I am going to take Just going to move this up and down a little bit to make sure there's nothing in there. I don't have a reamer for that, so this will kind of have to do for now. And I turn my thing around and it fits pretty tight there, but I'm going to do that the same to both of them. And I am going to spray some Teflon in there as well. Right. I am going to try to wipe some of the stuff off the outside of it. Okay, back to here. So this one's facing this way. This feels kind of, well, it's moving quite freely in there. I think the car might need some break-in with that. So anyway, gonna put this one on. Make sure the round part goes to the top. Right. So now on our step, I did miss flipping this ball into here. So I am going to give this a spray as well. All right, so this arm goes like this, and the ball points downwards. And in it goes. So this one would be reverse to that. Grab my pliers once again. Yeah, they move very freely. That's very good. All right. So now we are back to here where we put the arms on. And so before we put them on, we have to put two washers. One, two, and then the arm with the piece facing downwards. And another washer. And an E-clip. All right, I got it started there. Now I'm just going to use my needle nose to finish it off. Nope. All right, if your E-clip can move around in a circle, that means it's on. So as per directions, that looks good there. So now we're going to do the other side where I need 2 washers. All right, I got 2 of my washers on there. Now I'm going to put my arm on and the bottom of the ball faces downwards. And another washer on top of that. And now I'm going to put my E-clip back on. All right, I got it kind of started there. And with my pliers to snap it into place. Nope, I bent the E-clip. It's no good. Yeah, see, E-clip is no good. I could bend it back into place if I was needing one, but there is 2 extras here. So I will try again. And I will push the arm down. I'm going to use a set of smaller pliers this time. And that time it went on good. I can spin it around easy. It's sitting nice. All right, so those line up pretty good there. I'm going to set these to the side for emergency parts, I believe. I don't think I need any more of those. And off to the next step. We are on to step 12, which is the caster to the top of the arms. And that's this package right here with the shims and all that in there. I am going to empty the bag out here. There is washers, little washers. Make sure the bag is empty before throwing it out. Oh, come on. All right. Just going to give this a little rub there. Maybe another shot of the Zep. Some more Teflon. All right, we can fit these in here. So by the looks of it, we have 3 different size of washers and 2 button head screws. So we need to have 3.5 millimeters on the front side, two on the back side with a 0.8, and the center washer on the front is the Berlin washer. So I'm not too sure how this all goes together. So we have, this will be the rear. 0.8. All right. So I believe that I'm just going to check this out. These washers actually go in the front and the aluminum ones go onto the back. I can be wrong. I'm not sure. Just gonna give them a quick measurement here, zero it out. All right, so that's 0.45, which is 12 millimeter. These are 0.45 as well, which is the same thing. So I believe I need three of these little guys on each side on the front, three of these guys on the other side are red with two larger aluminum washers. All right, so I'm going to start off with all thumbs. All right, so we have our red spacer. That washer just does not seem to fit there very well at all. So I'm not going to use them. I am going to use these other washers instead. All right, so now here comes the tricky part. Drop the washer off. I don't know what the easiest way of doing this is. Yep, the struggles are real. Yep, that's zero fun. There's that one. Holy cow. I'm just going to guess the older system, the previous version, probably would have been a lot easier to build than what this is. All right, got one on. Wow. There's two. One more for three. Just gonna get the pin through all of them now. Oh, there we are. Well, closer anyway, I think. Yeah, there we go. The pin went inside. Now we're going to take our little button head screw to put into there. And we need the 0.15 driver and start screwing it in to hold that into place. All right, so just have it snug and off to the next side. All right, now we gotta, oh, perfect. Now we just gotta get 3 washers in the front of it. All right, and I just started just enough to sneak a washer in there. And it fell on. Perfect. I'm going to try that again. Yeah, it looked like it went on. I'm going to press this arm up to give more space, I hope. Try to sneak the last one in there. Up, pushing that one out. So try to move it back. I'm going to give this a little bump up. Use my fingernail to pull the washers down. You can kind of see the washers not sitting correct in there, so I'm going to try to move it over. I think it went in. I'm going to grab the last one and put it in there. Right. Now the last washer, I've got to kind of wedge it in there. All right, they're not metal washers. They're like a nylon kind of washer. And just trying to get my arm. So I got all 3 of them in there. Just going to try to spin this and move my arm around. Here we go. Finally got it to sit in there. And now I'm going to put our screw button head into there to hold it in place. Just put it onto the driver and start screwing it in. And it's pretty tight now, and it looks flush onto the arm. Now if I hold this, it moves up and down freely. Hopefully I have it all together properly, because it's going to suck if it's backwards. All right. Now we get to mount these onto the chassis. And so I have a very short track that I'm racing on. So I am going to use a shorter wheelbase. I just wish that this would flow a bit more. I might have to take that off and really polish the hell out of the kingpins to yeah, it feels like there's a bit of binding to it. Because that's not moving very smooth, so I'll have to redo those. So before I go any further, I am going to take that apart and redo that, just because they're not moving very well. I'll have to get something to polish those a little bit better. Maybe some rubbing compound. Yeah, because it's not moving. You look at the spring, uh, it's not, pushing all the way down. So I don't like that. So I am going to pause the video at this point and do that. Thank you.